Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Shimakaze, the tier 10 Japanese destroyer. I'm on the map Shatter in a 3-point domination game mode. Well, it's obviously tier 10. And the enemy team has one Donskoy with Raider, one Missouri with Raider, a Z-23, so a Hydro Destroyer. And well, I guess the British ships could technically have Raider, but it's unlikely. Now, I'm approaching this the cap like this and I'll immediately turn left. Because I need a plan to run away. When you're facing Raider ships in high tier battles, always have an exit strategy, and my first fears are being realized because there is a Z-23 here and a Donskoy, so two ships that can really make my life miserable. So I'm already on the way out of this cap, and yeah, the only thing I can do here is run away. Probably should have used the speed boost here as well. But I'm deploying my smoke here for one reason only, and that is I want that Donskoy to Raider. When the Donskoy sees the smoke here inside the cap, it's highly likely that he presses that Raider button, and that means his Raider is on cooldown. If I just run away and get unspotted and he still has his Raider, then that's a huge problem. Now, of course, the Z-23 on its own is also a problem because of his Hydro. I'm just launching some torpedoes this way. I mean, who knows, maybe he didn't use it, maybe I'll just get lucky and hit something. I can't really get closer to the enemy team right now to make the best use of my torpedoes anyway, so I'm just randomly spreading them out here and see what happens. Now I'm using the 12-kilometer torpedoes, which is, I feel like, the best choice. 12 kilometers are usually enough range that you can hit stuff, and they are... well, they are just better than the 20-kilometer ones. So, the Donskoy is still around, but I'm operating under the assumption that his Raider is currently on cooldown. But nevertheless, if I re-enter this cap, I need an exit strategy. That's why I've gone a little bit towards the right side here, because it gives me enough room to turn around. So, as soon as I'm entering this cap, I'm already kind of in a position to run away again. The enemy destroyer also left, most likely because of our New Orleans. I expect the enemy destroyer was raided as well, and oh, look, the enemy destroyer came back basically the same time I did. But I have better concealment. Thanks to the concealment buff on the Shimakaze, I can spot him. Now, I'm not using my guns here. I don't want my position to be given away. And I want this enemy destroyer to basically just flee. So now I can cap unless Raider comes back online. And meanwhile I might also be able to get some torpedoes off towards the Friedrich. Now there's a friendly ship that could potentially sail into my torpedoes, but in reality he was on so low health that it was very unrealistic that he'd survive long enough to cross the path of my torpedoes. It was also really unrealistic that he would have charged in there, I suppose, but something to keep in mind is always look where your friendly ships are when you launch your torpedoes. Now we have a lot of torpedoes on the way towards the Friedrich. The Z-23 is coming back, but he is slightly too late because I managed to get the cap. Unfortunately, this time he's charging in and he's spotting me. It's possible that his Donskoy has Raider available and that makes him braver. We shall see. Now, my team isn't shooting this destroyer all that much and he is deploying his smoke. I kinda have to evacuate here. Now on the right side, nobody has captured C yet, but that's kind of what happens a lot because there's this big island and ships can just sit behind it. Now meanwhile, my torpedoes found a new home inside the Friedrich, and it looks like that Friedrich is going down. Now, I really want to protect my New Orleans here, and I have smoke available. So I'm deploying some smoke here. Might give him the opportunity to use his Raider on the cap. Might give him the chance to just shoot this core first. We shall see. Now we are losing quite a few ships here, looks like. We are one ship we are one ship behind right now. But I might be able to get some nice torpedoes off against this Kurfürst. Now enemy destroyer is capping again, there is absolutely nothing I can do. There is a Donskoy in Edinburgh here backing up this destroyer. There is also the Kurfürst that I have to concern myself with. There's a Richelieu here somewhere. Our Yamato is running for the zone wall, as Yamatos tend to do. So first salvo against the Kurfürst is away. I'm not exactly sure what he'll do. I'm spread them out slightly and we see if we can get a nice hit in there. Of course, if I had paid more attention, I would have noticed that the Kurfürst has already made contact with the zone wall and that will probably slow him down. He makes not much of a move to move away from this zone wall, so those salvos might just not hit. Now I'm radared. That radar is probably... The radar was probably used against the New Orleans inside the smoke. But my New Orleans is still around and it looks like my first torpedo salvo is spot on. So some nice damage against the Kurfürst and he is gone. Now ship-wise we are even, but points-wise it doesn't look so good. We've lost A, there's just nothing we can do. The Donskoy is still here, the Z-23 is still here, and as a Shimakaze I can't really fight this combination on my own. I'd really need some support, but you see, instead of my Yamato having a nice position somewhere here at the front lines where he could absolutely demolish that Donskoy, the Yamato is at the J line. If the Yamato was like at the H line or something, it would absolutely obliterate the Donskoy. Now my New Orleans is pretty much caught out there. He's probably just making one last stand here. Now I'm in radar range of the Donskoy, but the Donskoy doesn't know where I am, so I'm hoping that he won't just randomly radar me. There's quite a few enemies still around. I can't really do anything a day. I've considered trying to take B, but there is the Edinburgh that might just be there. And there is still the Donskoy, right? The Donskoy is so close towards the center that he could radar me in there, and that would be very bad for me indeed. Now, we still haven't won the point C, and instead of our ships over there trying to actually do that, it looks like they are now reinforcing A, way too late. If they'd wanted to help here on the left side, they would have had to come here like 5 minutes ago. But the A point is pretty much lost. Our Yamato is having some fun in the J line, I suppose. On the bright side, with this Friedrich charging this way, we might finally get rid of the Donskoy. Now we are one ship behind, but that isn't such a big deal. The big deal is mostly that we don't have capture points and we need to change that. Now there's a potential push here going for the center. I don't think we are going to get C unless they kind of get some good torpedo salvos against that Friedrich there. And with forces now arriving here, I decided to turn around. I kinda need to help this force here, I suppose. Also, this Donskoy has done an amazing job so far of keeping me at bay and limiting my options. But now he's kind of overextended. He didn't expect that we get reinforcements. And honestly, I didn't expect it either, so can't blame him. But this Friedrich, and I mean the Sao and the Yamato, this Donskoy should be down any second now. And that opens me up to getting closer, maybe torpedoing the Richelieu. I can't really take B if they have two ships in there, and oh my god, I'm getting raided. Why is the Donskoy still around? I mean, seriously, there is a Sao, a Friedrich and a Yamato around here. So, considering how low hit points he is, I expected him to be down by now, but no, he is not, so I guess I gotta do this myself. Now back to my torpedoes. Unfortunately, this gap is a tiny bit too small for my torps. I mean, I can get maybe 2 or 3 I can get through this gap. So, let's see. There's the Richelieu who could sail into those. There is the Edinburgh and there is the Minotaur. And it looks like the Minotaur is just barely avoiding those, which is kinda sad because we could have used something good right now. Now meanwhile my team on the right side has completely crumbled and this is basically lost. We don't have a capture zone, we don't have ships, we have basically nothing. Oh no, we have 3 ships in the I line and 1 in the J line. That's what we have. Now we need a miracle. I don't know, maybe I sail around this corner and I find 2 low health destroyers and I sink them. Maybe that would help. But realistically speaking, we are basically in pretty bad shape. So I sail around this corner and oh look at that, there is a Shimakaze. He isn't that low health, but he's lower health than me, so that's good. He has a Fletcher with him who is also pretty low health. Now it looks like he has torpedoes ready, so I'm slowing down and I'm dodging those. The broken engine was probably helping as well, I suppose. Or was it my... no, it was the engine that was broken, I think. So let's sink this Fletcher, and that gives us at least a tiny bit more of breathing space. Also, I'm actually using Yamamoto here as a captain, which means if I got a Kraken, it would have been really nice. Unfortunately, I'm only at 4 kills. Or somebody else took down the Shimakaze. Not that I blame them, those destroyers needed to go, they needed to go quickly. And we managed that. Now next I really need to take a cap. I could try to go for C if there isn't too... yeah, well, I can't because there is a Friedrich there. And he isn't even alone, he has a Sao with him. So... not sure about my last launch here, but I wanted to avoid the wreck of the sinking ship here. And it's possible that they are... well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't have expected them to turn. Or towards the center, they have no reason to go towards B, so they are just straight pushing towards us. Yeah, we need a miracle here, because they had 900 and something points. I mean, we need to sink ships, we need to sink like the whole enemy team pretty quickly. Now the whole enemy team is pushing us, and I get 1 torpedo hit, but 1 just isn't enough. They are merrily sailing into the gaps between my torps. Now we have, I think, the Richelieu on pretty low health. I need to get inside a cap point, and I need to sink ships and... yeah, let's face it, this is down. This is done. So here we are with the results. We almost had the Richelieu, but they sank our Yamato before that, and so the enemy reached 1000 points in 1. And while ship-wise it was kinda winnable, still the end points-wise we just had no chance. Which once again shows how important it is to take capture points and not have everybody sitting at the J line. So actually supporting your destroyers who try to cap, very important if you want to achieve victory. So yeah, I didn't get any achievements, but well, almost a Kraken, I suppose. So while this was a defeat, I think the beginning was quite nice, where both teams were just trying to take the cap, where there were raider ships on both sides, and it shows that Shima can do quite a bit if you try to go for the objectives. Wasn't enough to win this battle because our whole team crumbled, but nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you guys next time.